and such are daffodils with the green world they live in. Nature is a storehouse of beauty. The beauties of nature are endless. The sun, the moon, old and young trees, beautiful daffodil flowers, and green surroundings are some of such beautiful things. Small streams with clear water, thick mass of ferns, thickets of forest, and musk rose are some other things of beauty. The poet enjoys nature's beauty in the thick forest undergrowth, and the mid forest is brimming with blooming musk roses. The fragrance of mid forest is present in the thickets. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms. Growth and decay march hand in hand. They are two vital aspects of life. The poet sees beauty in decay and death of these beautiful things. These lines bring to light the contrasting aspects of life, that is growth and decay. The mighty dead were very powerful and dominating persons during their own times. Their achievements made them mighty and great. Their noble works dazzles our eyes. We imagine that such mighty dead forefathers and sisters will attain more grandeur on the doomsday. We have heard stories about our forefathers and sisters, martyrs and leaders, that either we have heard them or we have read about them. The splendor of the deeds of them inspires us through their sagas. The legends and stories of these martyrs enthuse us. Through their legends, the mighty dead continue to live and be active as spiritual power. Our ancestors, who were great in their own ways, have been referred to as the mighty dead. We come to know about them by reading or hearing their valor, the stories, tales which speak of their innumerable sacrifices. They are also a source of motivation for all who go through them. An endless fountain of immortal drink. Endless fountain of joy is the image that has been used to convey that beauty is everlasting. Things of beauty are an eternal source of motivation, a precious gift from heaven which gives us infinite pleasure and delight. The immortal drink that nature's endless fountain pours onto us gives us immense joy and pleasure. The poet uses the image of an endless fountain coming down to us from heaven. According to him, nature and other beautiful things around us are like gift from God, which gives us infinite delight and joy. With this, we come to an end of the explanation of the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Beauty is referred to as an endless fountain, that is, an eternal source of motivation, an elixir of life, a precious gift from heaven sent by God Himself so that we can experience infinite pleasure and delight. The beautiful bounty of the earth is described by the endless fountain of immortal drink, which signifies that God bestows us with all His beautiful creations which help us live despite the sad, gloomy aspects of life. With this, we conclude the explanation of the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. Hello students. Today Let's understand the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. It's from your book Flamingo. A British romantic poet, John Keats, born in the year 1795, published his first epic poem, Endymion, in 1818. It is a narrative about the relationship between a goddess and her human lover. The poem is based on the Greek myth of Endymion, the shepherd who falls in love with the moon goddess Selene, whom the poet renames Cynthia. This extract, A Thing of Beauty, talks of how beautiful things give us pleasure and elevate suffering and sorrow. The epic poem Endymion begins famously with the line, A thing of beauty is a joy forever. John Keats is considered as one of England's greatest poets. He was one of the main figures of the second generation of Romantic poets, along with Lord Byron and P.B. Shelley, despite his work having been in publication for only 4 years before his death. Although his poems were not generally well received by critics during his lifetime, his reputation grew after his death. So, by the end of the 19th century, he had become one of the most beloved of all English poets. He had a significant influence on a diverse range of poets and writers. John Keats is considered as a romantic poet, and his poetry is characterized by sensual imagery in his most popular work, which is a series of odes. Odes means a lyrical poem which is meant for a particular subject. Today, his poems are one of the most sought after creation in English literature. The poem A Thing of Beauty is an excerpt from his poem Endymion, a poetic romance written in 1818, which was considered to be an epic poem. So let's explore the poem A Thing of Beauty by John Keats. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. In this line, the poet says that anything that is beautiful provides us an unending, everlasting, and eternal joy. It leaves an indelible imprint on our heart and soul. We love to relive the memories of that joyous experience which whenever it flashes back in our mind. Its loveliness increases, it will never pass into nothingness. The joy that we experience on seeing a beautiful object multiplies whenever we remember it. Similarly, the loveliness of anything beautiful multiplies each time we visualize it in our thoughts. Compared to this, things which do not give us happiness only remain for a short while and then disappear forever. A thing of beauty provides us eternal joy that will never fade away. The loveliness of a beautiful object does not fade away or die out because it leaves an indelible imprint on our heart and soul. But will keep a bower quiet for us. The beautiful things gives us peace like a quiet bower, a shady place, a pleasant shady place, and it provides us peaceful sleep, sweet dreams, good health, and therefore it refreshes us. Beautiful sights act like nutrition for relaxing us. It drives away aggression and restlessness. Peaceful and serene experiences are enjoyed by each and every one. Therefore, on every morrow are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth. Keats says that we try to wreath or create or make a flowery band which tries to which helps us support ourselves and motivates us to live our life to the fullest instead of burdening our lives with pain and suffering. Spite of despondence of the inhuman wrath of noble natures, life is a struggle. Man is a creator of his own woes and problems and sufferings. As he has lost hope and is constantly finds himself in despair and hopelessness state, the expression refers to the suffering and hopelessness of man which he experiences at various junctures of his life. As he is selfish and self centered, there are very few noble people who have risen above their petty differences and show magnanimity and generosity. There is a dearth means lack of such noble souls on our earth as man is mostly selfish and self-centered. Of the gloomy days, life is a struggle for success and our path towards success gets abstracted by the deceit and selfishness of our colleagues. We become sad and gloomy when we have bad experiences in our lives. Of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways made for our searching. Here, Keats tries to say that these words, the unhealthy and over darkened ways, refers to the trials and tribulations of life, the selfish and jealous methods we adopt to achieve our goals. Furthermore, there are traps that keep people connected to materialistic things. This connection with materialistic things distracts humans from eternal happiness. This is because the focus of such materialistic people will be on acquiring more and more resources rather than on attaining eternal happiness. The world has a lot of negativity, hatred, and greed. According to the poet, the cause of gloom and sadness is this negativity. Moreover, one can fade away these negative vibes away with the help of beautiful things that surround us. This is because these beautiful things bring nothing but positivity. Yes, in spite of all. This expression refers to all the pessimistic and the negative thoughts that obstruct our way to happiness. In spite of feeling hopelessness and gloom, we are able to find our happiness in the beautiful objects of nature. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. So, here in these lines, the poet is referring to the beauty that actually any shape or any form of beauty which has the power to take away the sadness and the gloom which has covered our spirits as such. It gives us this beautiful object, gives us joy and happiness to our heart, and it takes away all the hopelessness, despair, gloom, and sadness. The poet informs us about some beautiful things that are all around us. Beauty is certainly in the eyes of the one who beholds. Such the sun, the moon, trees old and young, sprouting a shady boon. This means one can see the beauty in anything. Furthermore, the poet talks about the numerous creations of God which we should admire. One such creation is the sun, which provides energy. Moreover, the poet also talks about the beauty of the moon and the natural beauty of the trees. The poet appreciates the simplicity and serenity of beauty through the image of the sun, the moon, the trees, the sheep, the daffodils, the green pastures, the livid streams, and a fair bloom of musk rose. Sheep and lamb Sheep and lamb are envisioned as symbols of innocence and serene beauty. Jesus Christ was a shepherd and was surrounded by his flock of sheep, his followers. Keats has made special reference to the sheep as symbols of divine beauty. He also talks about pretty flowers like daffodils enhance the liveliness and greenery of the world. Moreover, the flowing streams of water provide refreshment and cooling effect to us in the hot season.